So tell you their chance, this is one of the best value ultrabooks you're going to get. It is the MateBook 14, and to sum it up, it just does everything well, and there's not really that much to pick on. And everything that I could pick on, you could just say, well, go to the MateBook X Pro and then you'll get that feature. So this comes in at a really aggressive price point. I'll leave a link in the description to the latest prices. It's cheaper than an M1 Mac, it's cheaper than a Surface laptop, and that's the thing, right? You get most of the performance of that sort of stuff. It is premium, a premium build, so it has the build quality of those, M1 Macs or, Surface laptops, etc. Even like an XPS, you would say, but it comes in at a much cheaper price. Now, of course, this is not meant to compete with those. The MateBook X Pro is meant to compete with those, but still, you get most of the features here. So what we get inside here is an Intel 1135 G7, so you get the good graphics, so that means, you'll be able to do casual gaming. You can play AAA titles, but it's not going to be a great experience, but you can do it. I have plenty of videos gaming with these sort of parts, so go check those out. But it's not meant for that. It's meant for just, general web surfing, viewing content, productivity, etc. And you keep it within that scope and you'll never be disappointed with this thing. Comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM and a 512 gigabyte SSD. Now, that's the only configuration you can get. So if you want more, you have to go to the MateBook Pro X. Just bear that in mind. That's all you get. For ports, we have USB-C that has DisplayPort out. We have HDMI, headphone jack, and 2 USB Type A's. So all you people that want USB Type A's, this still has it. Webcam is here. I don't know, some people don't like that. I like that you just press a button and you can turn the webcam off. 3x2 display, woof. So the only thing better than 16x10 is 3x2, right? And it's not touch or anything like that. So with this display, it is 100% sRGB, and as I said, 300 nits. And yes, it measures all those things. So when I think of this as sort of like a mid-range at this price point, the display is really good considering it's a 3x2, right? Now again, if you want a brighter display with a wider color gamut, you go to the MateBook X Pro, right? So let's just have a quick look at this display and I'll show you this. All right, so it's an LED display, so it does what LED displays do. You'll get a bit of glow around bright areas. All LED displays do this. And this is no better or worse in that regard. A little bit glossy, as you can probably see as well. I think in its class, it's got one of the better displays. But again, if you want that better display, go to the MateBook X. Now, battery life was good. 7 hours, just over 7 hours, 7.5 hours I sort of got. That's just web surfing, viewing content, a little bit of productivity and stuff like that. Generally, you'll get through a work day and then you'll be able to charge it at night. Keyboard and trackpad. Awesome. That's all I need to say. The keyboard is really good, big keys, nice feel to it. It is good. Maybe a little bit slippery. That's the only criticism. And here, the trackpad, one of the top trackpads you're going to get in a Windows device. And if we go to sound, the sound I would say is adequate. Yeah, it sounds pretty good to me. So the sound is good. So when it comes to performance on this thing, wow, that's very interesting. You're not going to hear the fan on this. This is the good point, right? So it is a 15 watt CPU in there, but in balance mode, you'll be able to sustain 25 watts and it will boost higher than that, but it will sustain 25 watts under 70 degrees and you'll barely hear the fans. I mean, you can hear them, but it's not loud at all. That balance mode you can use on power or on battery. Now, there is a performance mode that you can only use when it's plugged in. Then it will maintain 30 watts. So an extra 5 watts and it will boost up to 40 watts. Temperatures are still very good. It doesn't reach over 90. The only downside to that is you get fan noise, but even then the fan noise is not that bad under full load in performance mode. So that is really good. You're never going to hear the fans. I'll just leave it in its like sort of normal balance mode and you won't even hear the fans. And I can tell you now, it performs better than a lot of laptops in its class with the same CPU and GPU that go down to 15 watts, whereas this can maintain 25 watts. So good performance there. You can upgrade the SSD. That's all you can upgrade with this. And overall, what can I say about it? There's not really that much. It ticks every box. It does everything well. And maybe the stuff that you think this is lacking, maybe you want an i7 or maybe you want a brighter display or wider color gamut display or a 40 gigabit per second, USB-C connection. Then you just go to the MateBook X, but you pay more, right? So you get what you pay for, and in its class, in its segment, in that sort of mid-range, it's really hard to beat this thing. Catch you in the next one, guys. Tally ho.